Hey everybody, science gives us facts, and trust gives us confidence. So which one do you rely on to make decisions for your health? Who do you get advice from? It is becoming more and more interesting out here when I am consulting with my patients. And although most of them choose to take my recommendations, but I always wonder why. I mean, is it because they understand the facts the way I do? Or maybe it's because they just simply trust me? Or is it both? See, medicine is one of those disciplines with the most drive to getting to the truth. I mean, it attempts to get to the truth by evaluating its own theories over and over again. Its own recommendations are taken into high criticism. That is right. Medicine do things such as testing, retesting, just so if we come up with the same results. Who does that, right? We do things called controlled studies, for instance. We do things called randomization studies. Or if we're progressive enough, we do natural experiments. In fact, in the last 30 years, we had advancements in our scientific research that gave us better understanding to pathophysiology or basic disease processes. And we even unraveled what we call the cellular machinery at the level of atoms. Wow, atoms? There are proteins, right? And there are also atoms that make up the proteins. They call that atomic resolution. And using it to develop therapies that alter the course and outcomes of diseases in all areas of medicine. So, I don't have to tell you how robust we are when it comes to figuring out if you should take, for instance, this particular blood pressure medication, or if you should have bilateral mastectomy, because the chances are you will develop breast cancer just like your mother and sister did. But do my patients really care about the science? I'm not sure. In fact, I will tell you that although they recognize the science is important, but it does not weigh heavily for them when making decisions. What does weigh heavily for them is trust. The trust they have with me as their physician. Sometimes you hear me say that one of my favorite questions from my patients is not when they ask what they should do about their condition. No. It's when they say to me, "Doc, what would I do if I were in their position?" You see, this is why building trust with my patients is so important. Often the messages we get from family members, friends, television shows, and even social media, it does not have the same level of robustness, that we do in our science, but their messages somehow are taken for gold. So while we are creating science to improve medicine for patients, we need to also create science for better communication with patients, science for better connection, respect, and integrity, so we can build trust with patients. So when my patients are faced with, let's say, a healthcare dilemma, there would be no time wasted in moving forward. There will be no question asked, per se. And we go forward with the action plan at hand. This will increase their chances of survival. It is not that I am neglecting, for instance, that there's also wrong messaging that's playing out here in the field, right? Because we hear a lot of wrong messaging from a lot of unqualified persons or sources. Yes, I'm aware. They are ruining the game for patients and physicians. I get it. But that is because somehow they managed to build trust with our patients. Somehow they figured out how to gain the trust of our patients much quicker than we did. Some social media ads, for instance, figured out how to build trust in seconds upon our patients laying eyes on them. This is why I can easily tell you that when it comes to my patients, education, expertise, even research, they are all a bell-shaped curve. It is important to have, but the more you have does not get you better results. Respect the game, guys. I am Dr. Coupe. I'm the People's Doctor. Thanks for listening.